Hi, I'm Nick from Sibling Architecture, here to present today the Darebin Intercultural Centre, which is a new purpose-built facility that we delivered recently for the City of Darebin. The objective of the centre is to foster intercultural, interracial and interfaith relationships between people within the community, with the main objective of eliminating discrimination within the community. So the centre is located at the centre of the municipality in Preston on Wurundjeri country, and located right on the corner of Gower and High Street within the Darebin Civic Centre, right adjacent to another intercultural space within the council, the Preston Market. So there was a decision made by Darebin Council to transfer the existing centre into this new purpose-built facility, into the Darebin Civic Centre, to occupy this bottom corner. The original building was built in 1895, but placing it here, effectively, it becomes the front door of council, so a deliberate move for them to kind of make it front and centre for the community. The interior spaces that we first got were pretty inspiring. So apart from, I guess, some of the vaulted or the forms within the interior and the tessellated mosaic tiles, some pretty drastic measures were required to create the space. A super important part of the process was the consultation process that we undertook for the project. This consisted of consultation with Wurundjeri, Woiwurrung elders, Auntie Julianne and Auntie Gail, 8 culturally and linguistically diverse community members, Darebin Council, ourselves, and Garwana Creative, who are an Indigenous landscape consultant that we worked with on the project. So we asked lots of questions and had robust conversations, which I guess led to creating the project guiding principles, which included be inclusive while culturally dynamic, unify the spaces between cultures, create transformative spaces, and enable light, warmth and transparency. And I guess an important part of it is it's not a community of multiple cultures, it's the cultural space between the cultures and these connections that we're trying to foster that is super important to the design. So from this, we developed the precinct blueprint with these curvaceous forms, drawing the community into the centre and also drawing it back out onto the corner of High and Gower Street. The floor plan, as you enter off High Street, has 2 welcome tables located here, an intercultural lounge, and then 2 flexible spaces. A co-working space is located to the left, with the intercultural staff offices located here. Ancillary spaces are located here, and then the Shire Hall, which isn't part of the project, acts as an expansion to the centre for larger sort of celebrations. And the types of events that occur within here are very varied. They can be lessons in how to do tax, dance, cooking classes, and cultural celebrations. We had to do some fairly surgical, I guess, changes to the building. It was very compartmentalised structurally and spatially. And then we created, I guess, this tapestry of materiality, and particularly the floor treatment, which is made up of cork, timber, tiles, carpets, which really starts to unify the ground plane. And then, I guess, these colourful infrastructures are then begun to be overlaid that allow the activities to occur. Flexibility was key to the design, and so operable walls and curtains offer sort of endless user agency within the spaces as well. So as you enter the building off High Street, we've upgraded the accessibility into the centre. There are these 4 beautiful eucalypt trees that you walk through, and signage that was also done by Semaphore Studio. As I mentioned, we collaborated with Garwana Creative on the landscape, which references local stones, riverbeds and endemic species through the landscape. As you enter into the space, this tapestry of materiality really starts to come to life. The checkered tiles at the rear and the vaulted ceiling you see here, both were only discovered during construction, and they were quickly sort of incorporated into the design, covered in 80s suspended tiles and vinyl originally. The 2 welcome tables located here at the centre break down that idea of reception and create a welcoming gesture as you enter. There's a welcome screen which can display art and programming for the space, as well as the structural openings are then treated in this mirrored surface so that they sort of dissipate within the space. The windows all then connect back out to the community as well. Another important design idea that we came up with and I guess convinced through consultation was this idea of purging the interior. So there was all of this colonial detailing within the space, and I guess we made a deliberate decision to make it a culturally safe space to kind of remove that and reveal the materiality behind this detailing, and so revealed the bricks that are actually made from country. And you can begin to see that in these images here, where we've kept the forms, but the materiality is then celebrated through the space. Spaces are also named in Wurundjeri language, meaning gather as one, one people, one place, and all are welcome. The co-working space circulates around this glass vitrine or quiet space, and the intercultural staff inhabit their offices located down the back here. Informal spaces for the public to work are also offered, so this also acts as a kind of a library space where people can come in and gather information in a more ad hoc level as well, rather than being just for the programming. The lighting within the space also mimics the floor treatment and guides you through the spaces. Social infrastructure and breakout spaces are also dotted throughout, and windows are treated with colourful shrouds that again project back out into the space as well. The slatted mirrored ceiling begins to bounce light around the space and deals with our services. It's also the main social space and begins to, I guess, reflect people back onto themselves, reminding them of their importance of inhabiting this space. The two flexible spaces down the end, one orange and one yellow, have dedicated AV curtains and the operable walls. They're also treated with this tubular acoustic material on the sides, which begin to frame the windows to the exterior as well. The mirrored vitrines here, or the AV elements, can be moved through the space and really facilitate the different activities that occur within the space. So the space can really be reconfigured in a multitude of ways, and it begins to create spaces within spaces, and you can start to see the wash of colour that comes with all those reflective materials as well. The lighting response also begins to come through to the exterior of the space and starts to create this, I guess, 24-hour connection with the space and the public space out the front, and really starts to reanimate, I guess, the centre back to the community as well. I'll just finish with a video that we can play while I answer any questions.